Hello lovely people. Today I will be measuring my Alpine Status mids in the dash. Apologies for the darkness because it's already late, but so what I did is, as I was planning to do, I just made some spacer rings for the Status drivers, just like that. They fit perfectly in there. This is, the red one is just a double-sided sticky tape, because again, it's all temporary, and they're gonna be going in just like that. And I will be testing the response just to see if the bottom end of these mids are gonna reach my mid-bass drivers, because whatever mid-bass drivers I'm gonna use, I know I'm gonna have the same top end, just because the top end is gonna depend on the location and not on the driver itself. And I know that this one is playing a bit higher, but on that side my mid-bass is playing only up to like 170, 180, and that's why I need these mids to reach it. So this is exactly what I'm gonna do now. So I'm just gonna plop it in, connect the wires to the DSP, play some pink noise, measure, and then we're gonna jump into the laptop and see what we have. I know you can barely see me. What I did is I didn't measure them. I'm gonna show you all the measurements, but just for fun, so I set the crossovers. I was looking for a safe crossover. I ended up something at like 150 hertz, 12 dB, or it could go down to like 100 hertz, 24 dB. And I EQ'd them a tiny bit just to remove that natural peak that I have like in the lower mid-range. And I use like maybe 3-4. I use like 3-4 EQ bands just to put them flat. I'll put like time alignment on one side. The thing is, like, now I don't know, is it my brain that perceives the sound better than it actually is, or these are the best mids I've ever heard in my life? It's like I was playing only the mids, nothing else, and they play from 120 hertz all the way up, all the way. They don't need a tweeter. They have a cone breakup. I'm gonna show you. They have a cone breakup at about like 17, 18K, but they play all the way. They don't need a tweeter, and they sound so good. Oh my god. This is just, I know you think I might be exaggerating, but seriously, like, sitting in the dark, I know my battery of the car is gonna be dead because I was sitting for like half an hour. I couldn't stop listening, and now I'm listening through Bluetooth on this one small amplifier. And what's gonna happen when I'm gonna put the proper Type X amplifiers and I'm gonna feed it USB via optical, very good music like on Flax? Oh man, I'm looking forward to this. I'm so happy. I'm really happy. Oh, okay, I'm gonna listen for a bit and I'm gonna jump into the laptop. I'm gonna show you all the measurements that I did. Okay, let's do this. I'm so excited. I was playing the music, and the thing is, like, I did yeah, now it's gonna be a bit of a rant. I did think that that face plug is gonna have less cone area and it's not gonna be as loud. And even with 25 watts on that integrated amplifier, you can still bleed your ears with the volume. And it's so nice. Like, even full tilt, there's no harshness, no nothing. I'm literally melting. Okay, so let's concentrate and do this. For the tune that I have, I chose the targets for my mid-range to be at 175 at high pass. And low pass doesn't really matter, but high pass, it cannot be higher than 170 because my mid bass from the kicks doesn't play. So this is my target that I need to cover. Now Satori, that are ones that I had before, the 5-inch Satori, they had a very low FS and they were playing all the way like down to 100 hertz, and it was very easy to tune them to this target. I could tune them even lower, but I didn't want to, so that's fine. Now let's have a look at the status. So left Satori versus left status. So we can see straight away that it does. So this is the status full range with no crossovers applied. So we can see that it starts to fall off here, and we don't have any of this bottom end. However, it still plays very nice all the way, like I want to see up to like 120. Now, yes, the excursion is going to be a problem with no crossover, but it's just for comparison with no crossovers. However, the top end, you can see this probably is the cone breakup. The dimension 718K, 17.7K. So this is going to be very deep in the crossover hidden, so it's not a problem at all. This problem here is because of the reflection from the glass. So this, when I'm going to tilt them, this dip is going to fix itself, which is fine. And we have a small dip here. And now I have a look. Yeah, the Satori had the same dip. So this is a reflection as well. So it's not the driver issue, but it's fine. Now the right one. So right Satori and right status. And again, roll off starts earlier and plays all the way up. Again, breakup. And this problem here, again, because of the reflection from the glass. When I'm going to tilt them, this is going to be filled in. It's not going to be a problem. So what I did is I play with a crossover. So the lowest crossover that I could put them on was 150 hertz. So that's the right. 150 hertz bezel. So bezel is the least safest because it extends much more further, and Linkwitz Riley would be the most safest, but Linkwitz Riley cuts the most. So I chose like the worst possible crossover. Worst, I mean the least safest. And I was watching the excursion, and with this crossover bezel 150 hertz, running full tilt, the mid is moving. It's moving quite a lot, but it doesn't reach X max because I didn't hear any distortion whatsoever. So this bottom end, it kind of cuts off. So if I take this one and I'm gonna overlay the target, as you can see, it follows the target. It's gonna, even with the EQ, you're gonna remove some of this. Again, this is gonna fill in when I'm gonna aim the mid, so I'm not worried about this area. But this, even with EQ, I'm going to remove another like 5 dB or something. So it's going to be even safer than that. Now, it doesn't follow below that. I could bring the target level a bit down, and it's going to follow down to 70. But I don't know if I really need it. And yeah, it follows down to 90, whatever. So it's fine. So that's right side. Now let's have a look at the left one. Is it this one? And left one is a bit better because left one is the passenger side, so it has a bit more boost at the bottom end. So this is the same crossover, 150 hertz, and with this, again, this is going to be fixed, and it follows all the way down into the crossover. So these mids can be crossed 170 hertz acoustically with no problems at all. If I want a slightly safer crossover, the only thing that I have to do, because this the left one is not going to be a problem, the right one is a bit problematic, but if I would just lower the target a bit, just like that, it's going to follow, and I'm going to remove all of this with EQ, so it's going to be even more protection. Or I could have put like an 18 dB crossover or like 24 dB at 100 hertz, and it's still gonna be fine. So what I did is I was talking about the EQ. So right mid EQ, just like that. So what I did, let me show you actually. this one EQ here. So what I did, I took the response, I smoothed it to 1/3, and then in filter, I chose flatness target at 3 dB. So because I didn't want to, it was a bit lower, I think it was 42 or something. Shoot. 42, yeah, or 40, because I didn't want to be like super mega flat. I just wanted save some time and enter just a few EQ bands instead of like 20. So with 3 EQ bands, it managed to smooth the response like this, and the left one from this went into this. And on the left one, how much I used on the left one? EQ. I used 1, 2, 3, 4 bands. So 3 and 4 bands. And I ended up with something like this. So they match quite good, to be honest, just with few bands of EQ. I didn't fix any of this because I just left it. And if I smooth it to like 1/3, just, yeah. So it's with 3 and 4 EQ bands, it's very nice. And as I mentioned, they play from like 110 all the way up to 20K. So even without the tweeters, they sound amazing. And now I'm extremely excited how the whole system is gonna sound with the tweeters and with the mid bass. Again, I'm a bit skeptical about the tweeters, but I don't know, because these mid-ranges surprised me a lot. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm super hyped. I'm super excited. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna fit. It's gonna be perfect in the dash. I'm gonna follow the target curve. It's not a problem at all. They're gonna reach everything. I'm gonna have enough bottom end. Everything is gonna be perfect. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.